Dragons. Mill.
I miss sea shanty. One more time. I have free will one more time! One more time! I'm normal. Hello, 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 everybody. It's Thursday. I wanted to play Tails, but then I stared at the universe for too hard, and now I don't think I have the brain cell for Tails, because Tails is not an escapism, it is unfortunately part of reality. So instead, PowerWasher. You don't have to be an English major to learn about the obsolete ways that we used to use words, you just have to have the internet and a search engine. Balls have so many evolutions and upgrades. I'm dying. I'm normal. Everything's fine. Hi, everybody. Did you know that I have unlocked somewhere deep in my soul the ability to shoot people really good in the face with a gun in Destiny 2? Because this is a revelation to myself. And I'm a little bit afraid now. Because maybe I like Destiny 2 PvP. I don't think I could ever try hard it. But I could exist in a realm of chaos. When I was first introduced to the word, I was very confused because the definition did not match how they were using it. Okay, Chud has gone through, in the modern era, several different definitions. I'm not playing sea shanty again. I need to not play sea shanty again. Chud, the word. Chud used to be used derogatorily towards conservatives? Question mark? I don't remember which political group, but it used to use derogatorily towards a group of some kind in the political sphere, like 8 years ago, and now it's just like dumbass. That's all I can think of it. Anyways, it's PowerWash Simulator time. Hi everybody, it's PowerWash Sim time. What was I doing? Oh. New jobs? I have this one. I'm only- oh no. I was looking at this wall earlier and I realized how many jobs there are for me to do, so we're doomed. Anyways, I'm happy you found your gaming skills. Unfortunately, that took till end of service. It's not end of service yet. It's end of updates, but it's not end of service. Yeah, it's not- I agree with Blossom. It's mean, but it's not as derogatory as it used to be. What the hell has happened to this road sweeper? I just want you to know that from this day forth, you are forever loved by at least one person. Me. Started work this morning, forgot all about my detour around the annual Huckleberry Run on Oak Street, drove my road sweeper straight into the party zone. Not sure what the fallout from this is gonna be. I'm hoping with all that juice flying around, people kept their camera phones in their pockets and I got away with it. One thing's for sure, if I go back to the yard with it looking like this, then I know that my work nickname's gonna be for the next 40 years. Okay. I love that shooting off fireworks is illegal here, so instead of just listening to fireworks, I get fireworks yelling and various police sirens. Ooh, it's that time of year for me too, except time, you'll be excited to know that in my neighborhood, they've started putting up cats. Nope, sorry. Hold on. They've started putting up road signs that say, hey, this is illegal. Knock it off. Has it changed anything? No. But they're trying. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I understand how this works again. Hold on, hold on. Wonderful. Perfect. 10 out of 10. This is the best washing job I ever get. Yeah, it's pretty bad, isn't it? Yep, then it's pretty bad. But that's okay, because I have a new fun game called sitting here doing this. Okay, again. I'm happy at least my suffering only lasts one night. I'm sorry you guys gotta go through like a week of this. I wish that people wouldn't. I don't want them. I want them to knock it off. Anne's sometimes fine about the fireworks, but I want them to go away. Also, what the fuck? That's such a big number, Minty. That's not real. That's fake. I'll take them. No, Blossom, we don't want the fireworks. No fireworks. Actually, do you know what's gonna stop me from getting too invested in Destiny 2 PvP modes? It's people's usernames. I can't take it very seriously when Stinky Fart Man is shooting at me and killing me and making me want to kill him in return. Just can't take that seriously. Can't take that seriously. Don't want to take that seriously. Stinky Fart Man can stop that. That's every FPS, what do you mean? Oh, don't worry, there's also Destiny 2 specific ones. I'm not going to list out all of the comments that I've seen stated around various characters in Destiny 2, but let me tell you, some people's usernames are just horny. Is one of them Vex Milkers? I have indeed seen Vex Milk variant names. That is a real thing I have seen. I've seen lots of comments about Marasov. There was another character that I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Saint 14. And they were talking about his giant tits. I don't pretend to understand what's happening. But that's why I can't be serious about it, because how can you get tryhard about it when somebody like that's shooting at you? How can you be a tryhard? You just have to sit there and laugh and then try to get them back. Anyway, so I've been very normal about Destiny 2 this week, and I have been playing a lot of... There's the Iron Banners happening right now. And I want the shader from it because I am normal. Actually, it's even better when the funny names are on my team, because so the way that Destiny does it is it will tell you, like, if you helped assist somebody, but it will also tell you who you've revenged. So if somebody on your team has just died, and you kill that person that killed them, it'll say that you took revenge for blank. And so there might have been a couple of deranged rounds where my teammates just had the weirdest usernames, and I had to sit there and contemplate life after I just shot somebody and revived somebody like a Vex Milkers. It was not Vex Milkers, but it was. Oh yeah, you do kill Ether by giving him money. That's a pretty effective way to do it. No, not allowed? Okay. Sure. Because you can stop us. How do I... Where? Oh. Nope. F? No. What button is it? What button is it? I've lost all my buttons. Oh, it's Q. Okay. Why is it 67 seconds, Minty? Why is it 67 seconds? Because that's the name you put in the horrid username? Okay, well. I still need to finish Deltarune Chapter 5. Did you know that in the end of Deltarune Chapter 5, something happens? Spoiler. Okay, I'm sorry. Nothing happens. Nothing could ever happen at the end of Deltarune Chapter 5. I don't know what you're talking about. I plead not guilty. Okay, buddy. Sure. That man in the air fryer. Mods, kill that man with hammers. Also, somehow being timed out broke chat, so now I'm Justin fan 12345. Man, I can't believe you're a fan of Justin, but can you tell me which Justin? Because there's like a couple of them. I've either been spoiled on a detail or very convincingly gaslit, and I don't know until we get further into the live dub. Pizza. That's all I got for you. Hope that helps. Can I move these? No. Whoop. Justin from the hit worldwide website. I don't like worldwide website. For some reason. I know it's right. Why does it sound wrong? I hope a character and a different character kiss. They have so much romantic tension. Why was my answer to the draw in the blanks there, the right in the blanks there was just Chris and Moss. There's no romantic tension there. Chris just keeps eating moss. That's pretty romantic. I don't think that's romantic. I think Chris is hungry. Tagging chapter 5 main character death because I'm killing him repeatedly. No! No, I'll cry now. I got attached to all the characters at the very end. We can't kill anybody. I love all of them. I want to put all of them in my pocket. Nope. Oh. There goes my plans to put them all in my pocket. What will I do now? Where's the dirt? Oh, not that one. Oh, right there. What if you put them in the blender instead? No! What's romantic than a dinner with your loved ones? Ice cream? Nope, moss. It's just moss all the way down. Woo, who are you putting in a blender? Don't put people in blenders. Do you think... Are there actual fics about Chris and the moss? Are there actual ones? Minty, what are you doing? Do you actually want to know that information? Yes. I already did it? Oh, did you send a warning? I don't see those in chat. So I know it's not a timeout or a ban here. I could look this up. I have access to at least one archive of our own. That one's been blocked for a while, Ether. Hold on. Chris Delta Rune. Okay, so it's Chris Deltarune. Moss. I just see a lot of fixed title moss. And Chris eats moss. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Why is Pizza Tower here? How did Pizza Tower get here? Where's the moss? I want my crack ship, Chris Deltarune, and the moss. No, I don't. Why am I looking this up still? I'm here again. Hello. Chris plus moss ship name is Cross. It could be Miss. It could be Moist. You add a T in there for no reason, but you can make it happen. Crossed. Nope. Yeah, but Chris goes to church and Jesus died on the cross. I don't think that counts for Monster Jesus. I'm gonna go back and say, I don't know if there is a Monster Jesus. Yes, Jesus canon in Deltarune is such a good sentence. No, I don't think so. Christmas is canon, which implies Christ. No, it's not. Not for the monsters. The monsters in Undertale very specifically got the idea from the humans. But the monsters themselves don't seem to understand Jesus or religion in the same context. So for the monsters, I don't think Jesus is canon. Oh yeah, the Catholic Church is having a fun time right now. I hope all the Catholics are having fun. Jesus is only canon if you believe in him. I mean, I guess. I don't know what's happening besides the Pope being based. I'm trying to remember the right terminology. Oh no, is it excommunication? I don't think it's excommunication. Maybe it was excommunication. No, it was excommunication. Okay, so there's a group of Catholics that have basically ignored the Pope for the last decade. And it's called the Society of St. Pius X. So it's usually shortened to SSPX because the X is 10. And they did a thing last weekend that they shouldn't have, which is that they ordained some people and said, hey, we have the power to do this. And it was bishops. And in Catholicism, that's not how that works. it's the Pope's responsibility. And so the Pope went, hey, don't do that. And they did it anyways. He said, cool, excommunicate. And it's like the biggest group that's been excommunicated in a while. And it's probably just going to become a new church. Realistically, that is what's going to happen at the end of this, is a new group of, like, a new church is going to emerge from all of this. And it will be basically Catholicism, but 10 years ago. Which is interesting. New anti-pope. Kinda. We'll see what happens, though. It's going to be interesting for sure, Aziz. Oh, my brain is so empty. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain is so empty at the moment, but also I have a bajillion thoughts and I'm trying to not yell them into the void because I don't think you guys need to hear the anti-intellectualism conversation that I've been having in my head all day. The book readers are doing weird shit again and I don't know how I feel about it. Some of the things that they push are more Catholicism, like 50 years ago, but still interesting. They basically ignored everything that the Pope has said, though, for like the last 10 years, from what I've understood. Like, blatantly said, yeah, we don't care. It's so satisfying. Again. I want to watch again. Look at that cat. Look at that cat. Okay. Continue. Gas station. Morning, sugar. The high muckamucks in the ivory towers of Blueberry City have demanded we clean our humble gas station. Can you believe the gall of them? First they build a new interstate that reduces passing traffic to a trickle. Then they say we're an eyesore to the few still traveling on it. This town of the year thing puts a rocket up all their behinds. If they ain't happy with the state of the place, then they could at least put their hands in their pocket rather than expect honest folk like us to foot the bill. Damn, capitalism's everywhere. Hold on. Hold on. I need to read that sentence again. All I know is one of my mom's best friends chats with the Pope a lot. Like Pope Leo? The current Pope? Have we had this conversation before? Am I insane? And sometimes my mom tells me some of the crazy stuff he gets up to, and I still don't know how he got there when just 2 years ago he lived in our small city and sometimes popped up to give me corn dogs. What? Clover, what do you mean the Pope gave you corn dogs? Also, I like that his name is Pope Leo because then he's like Pope Leo the Pokemon, and everybody's already made that joke, but I think about it often. Not the Pope? A bishop? Oh, never mind. I understand the order now. Not the Pope. My mom's best friend who is now a title. Okay. No, it's okay. You can keep that one to yourself. I don't understand your life, Clover. But also, imagine if the Pope lived in your town. Canadian Pope next? I want to see what would happen. I was still on it. Come on. Boop. Corn Dog Day in the Vatican. I don't know, he got a big promotion a few years ago, moved to Montreal, and the next thing I knew, my mom was telling me he was moved to Rome. Oh my god. That's insane. I do know also that the communication person for the Vatican is now, a lay person, not a member, like, not a titled member of the church. Which is interesting and weird, and I don't understand what's going on, but I don't think I hate it. It's like the media person. I love the number 14. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I can play Final Fantasy 14. I now have PvP in Destiny 2. I don't know if I can do anything else with my life. Crippling Destiny 2 addiction. I don't understand the problem. There's no problem in bossing, say. I just have... Hold on, where is it? Nope, not this tab. This tab. I just casually have 9,000 words that I've written about a character for a dying franchise. It's fine. Are there corn dogs in bossing, say? Does the Avatar universe have corn dogs, do you think? Do you think they figured out hot dogs yet? Where am I missing? Oh. There we go. It's okay, no, you won't play 14. I've accepted that you do not wish to, and that's okay. It's not that I don't wish to, it's just that I have other MMOs. Or MMO likes. I could get really into Warframe if I can figure out how to do anything. I'm kind of at that point in Warframe that I was at with Destiny 2 where I'm like, I have no idea how anything works. Please don't ask me to understand where I am or what I'm doing. Just checked, apparently there's enough archbishops out there in the world that I can say that. I'm happy for him and he's silly little adventures, but I do miss his surprise corn dogs. They always take the good ones. They always take the good ones. I like this gas station though, it's very cute. I say as I've only been cleaning this cactus. Alright, that one's That one's good. Alright, that one's clean. I'm fine. Probably. Maybe. We'll find out. I do want to fight the internet, though. I need other people to hear the sentence that I'm going to say because I've been thinking about it all day. I watched a video from Men Carrying Things because he's just an interesting YouTuber and I enjoy watching him. And apparently there's people out in the world that are calling the Count of Monte Cristo lit slop. And I don't know what to do with that. And I have questions, and I need a footstool. Well, the real problem with it is that it started me down like a 3-hour like listening. It's so cute. 3-hour like rabbit hole of listening to a whole bunch of like videos about how people deal with literature in the modern age. And all I've learned is that people are reading less but say that they're reading more. Gnome. Where does he go? Do you want to be here? Do you go over here with the cats? I'm putting you over here with the cats. Hello, cats. Apparently, really what happened is that a whole bunch of people thought that all of the... Why is there soccer? Can I play soccer? No. Can I? Oh. Why is there an achievement for that? I got an achievement for pushing the ball down the slide. You get to go over here. At first I liked the word slot for things, but quickly became anything in abundance / people find not worthwhile and honestly not into it. It's in a weird spot. People were saying about the Mont of, what was the name of the achievement? It's called Drop the Ball. Because of course it is. People have been calling the Count of Monte Cristo literary slop because people have this idea of what a classic is, and then people get to something like the Count of Monte Cristo, which is still an interesting piece of literature. But it was basically like the closest thing you get to like a TV show in that era for the people of France. And so you get a lot of people that are like, why is this a telenovela? And I'm like, because that was entertaining. Because humans have always liked storytelling, and we've always been like this. That's why this book is full of just like fluff, and it's easy to read, and it's fun. And why is it so dense? It's so dense because it wasn't, I don't think, originally presented as a book, necessarily. It might have been published in chapters. And it was probably published in chapters so that people could read it every week. And then it was compiled into a singular book. And then everybody goes, it's too dense, I hate it, this makes me hate reading. And I'm like, I think you just need to try a different book, my friend. Have you tried literally anything else? But no, they have not. But in my search of trying to figure out what lit slop was, because I only found the one video from Man Carrying Things about it, and I wanted further explanation. Count of Monte Cristo is an AO3 original work. I stumbled upon like a trove of videos of people talking about like how we talk about reading and how we read in the modern era, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that I've already talked about. But then it's only gotten worse because now there's like SparkNotes and AI versions of basically SparkNotes that are out there like, hey, don't have time for reading? Do this. And then Fahrenheit 451 was just like blaring in my ears. Because that's what happens in Fahrenheit 451, is that all of the books become 5-minute things that you sit down and consume and then you know what's going on, but that's not how books work. And then this turned into a further conversation in my brain and with the videos I was watching on the commodification of the hobby of reading and technically of writing. And then I stumbled upon a couple of people that were talking about the tropification of fiction, and I was like, sweet summer child, that's just how writing works. I hate to break it to you, but we like tropes. Tropes exist for reasons. It is okay for people to write with tropes in mind. It's also horrible when the companies do nothing but write in tropes, and it's okay to hate those. Tropification? Yes. Yes. This was very specifically, because a lot of these conversations are... I hate you. Either, why did you do this? I'm fine. Most of the conversation was happening around the idea that you get a lot of books in the romance genre specifically that look at one trope. So you have a lot of like enemies to lovers, you have a lot of like friends to lovers, you have a lot of like, I'm trying to think of another one that's like decent and that I can remember, and I don't remember anything about romance genres off the top of my head right now, because of course I don't. Nope, no idea. My brain just said the One Direction fanfiction trope, but that's not it. But they were talking about like, oh, the tropification of like genres is horrible and I hate it, and I'm like, sweet summer child, do you not understand that AO3 is like the perfect repository of how to look up a story you want to read? And that it is okay for somebody to lean into a trope if it makes them happy and that's what they want to read and write? Summer child, please. One Direction still doesn't feel real. What do you mean One Direction doesn't feel real? Harry Styles is out there living his best life. What do you want from them? Lovers to enemies hit sometimes, but only if one of them is like actually evil and the other one is completely shattered by it and there's not a happy ending. And that's fine. I think that it's fine. Same left One Direction, man. I think this is an old man yelling at cloud thing. Which part, Woo? The tropification or what? Because I think there's a difference. I saw a quote today from the internet that was about something completely different. And I agree with it wholeheartedly. That was, this has been discussed at length, you're just 21. I think this is about horror movies and how some of the villains in some of the most popular horror movies have cross-dressed. I think that's the original context, is somebody made that post and then somebody replied with, "This has been discussed at length. You're just 21." Into the lexicon that tweet goes. It really does. I feel like a lot of this, when I look at like literature and I see a lot of people complaining about books, and I'm like, that book was published in the 70s. You are 20. Please. Please go look on the rest of the internet for 2 seconds. One Direction just feels like an industry plant to me. I mean, they were on a TV show, so technically they were kind of a plant. Monkey Barnes, I read The Hobbit in 1942 when it came out type beat. Trader, did you complete Deltarune? I did. They were manufactured to be popular? Yeah. I'm free from spoilers. Deltarune Chapter 5 spoiler. Moss. Does that help? Aether, do you want to hear about my new favorite crack ship? Except it's not my new favorite crack ship at all. It's just Chris X Moss. Oh my god, I just came up with a killer fic title if I ever wrote this, but I never will, so it won't matter. Because you know how it's Deus Ex Machina for God in the Machine? My brain just went Chris Ex Machina. That was so stupid. That's so wonderful. I'm writing a fanfic later. I don't know what about, but it's about Chris and Moss. I like the way that they spin the power washing thing when I talk about my nonsense. Anyways, I came away from the whole conversation with myself and with the internet about books just going, I just wish people liked stuff. I wish that we stopped commodifying hobbies. Just go read a book or something, my man. I don't care. Would a Chris eating moss fic require the Vortag? Only if the moss was... You can't just write commodify these nuts. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. I'm fine. I'm fine, and I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm not fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Hi, everybody. I'm okay. I'm normal, and I am okay. No, I'm not, but that's okay. But also, no, it's not vor. If the moss was, like, had a persona that you made for the fic, then yes, but... Nope, I'm not saying any of the rest of those sentences in my head. We're going to put those sentences back into my skull and leave them alone. Had a what? A persona. You know, instead of, like, a fursona, a persona, because a person. Human-sona. I saw a TikTok about someone who complained about some piece of literature because it used too many big words. Oh my god! Okay, wait, Tiff, I watched a video about this a while ago where somebody was reading a fantasy book and then they posted on Threads that they think that authors should use smaller words. And the word in the picture that they were confused about from something that was a fantasy book? Scrying. And I hate to break it to you, but if you're reading a fantasy book and you see a word you don't understand, you look it up. It's fine. That's half of the point of reading, is to learn new words and become more educated and take better care of your brain. It's fine. Just look it up. It's fine. I'm gonna be honest, if you're reading any book and there's a word you don't understand, you look it up. That's not genre specific. No, but I think fantasy gets this a lot, because if you're writing in urban, you tend to like urban fiction or modern fiction or just general fiction, you tend to not get a lot of like the like fantasy side of words. And so you'll get like some terms like associated with magic and stuff. Scrying you wouldn't see that often in like a piece of more modern fiction. That one doesn't come up very much. I don't talk about like scrying mirrors or scrying bowls or anything very often. Why do I say it like I talk about scrying on a regular basis? Well, I talk about cults on a regular basis. Never mind, I understand now. But like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, if you don't know a word, just look it up. I had to do it earlier today. I've been reading through, oh god, El Motar, one of the authors of This Is How You Lose a Time Warp. She has a collection of short stories that she published from, I think it's like between 2008 or 2003, I don't remember, and like 2023. And one of the words in one of the sci-fi short stories, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then I had to go look it up, and I was like, oh, I understood via context. I just needed to verify that I understood it. Green eggs and ham will be problematic next week. Yeah. It's just because you're not a wizard? I'm not a wizard, you're correct. Community of magic using peoples. Come up. Pronounced come up. Discusses scrying for newcomers all the time. Okay, well, I guess I need to get in on the wizardry. Who wants to become a wizard with me? Actually, I do know that there was like a witchy, I don't know if it was a farmer's market, but something like a farmer's market last week near me for the moon. The pretty full moon. I also learned a new word today, but mine was... I'm scared of that word. Dehise? I don't know. Not just wizards, we've come a long way since the 60s? Hell yeah. Also, not every piece of media is for you. Have no shame in looking things up, but also put it down if it's not doing it for you. I think that's another thing. I'm going to say something not controversial at all. I think the idea of classics is a little bit convoluted and stupid. I hate the emphasis that we keep putting on the idea of a classic. For people, I need more people to understand that classics are just books that people have liked and that have stuck around. And it's okay if you don't understand it. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to like that one. You can instead go find the books that like your mom liked and read those instead. And that would be perfectly acceptable as well. I also need to, like, bash into some people's heads that understanding the reference and being able to say the right, quote-unquote, the right thing about a book without having ever actually read the book, makes me respect you less. If you want to understand the reference, go read the book, have fun, go nuts. And if you find that you hate the book, stop reading it. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to like it. You can say like, nah, I don't care. I know that's a reference to something in blank. I don't care. To hiss, kinda. Meaning to split/burst open. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that a lot. Wizards, witches, alchemists, sorcerers, warlocks, magicians, psychologists. I love the inclusion of psychologists in this. Thank you. I'm glad that we acknowledge that they are magical. Every creative writing professor I've ever had has had a different list of foundational texts for modern Western fantasy. Like, it really is just context. It is. What makes up a context or what makes up a classic is highly, highly specific to the context in which you are learning. The classics that a fiction writer are going to give you are going to be way different than the classics that a generalized fiction writer are going to give you. And that's fine. Also, smiths of a certain tier? Are you telling me my blacksmith could be magical? You said fiction writer twice? Listen, I write good, I don't speak good. You think I have a thought inside of my head? No. Absolutely not. There's nothing up there. If your blacksmith makes good enough nails, they're magical? Hell yeah. Dr. Seuss books are classics for children's lit? Yeah. But also, I think that there's been a whole bunch of lists that have come out that are like, you need to read these books in order to sound educated. And I'm like, you know what makes you sound educated? Having a thought about anything. If somebody came up to me and started talking about, like, their serious thoughts about, like, the various kinds of bread that they can buy at the store, that's enough. You're having a thought about something. Maybe I don't understand what you're going on about, but, like, you're fine. Education. Okay, well, never mind. They're perfect. They've figured out a pun about toast and education. Also, ads start in a minute. I trust Breadman's opinions. Yes. It popped my ears. I really wish I'd written down more of my thoughts about books over the years. I've noticed a few interesting trends, my personal biases about fiction that I wish I could chart or something. Oh, I don't write those down either, but I very clearly understand my weird shenanigans when it comes to what I enjoy reading in fiction and the things that I will transcend genre for. But that's because I just remember a lot of what I have read and go, yeah, no, I'm a weirdo. I can also very clearly chart my reading based on what my dad reads too, because we read almost the same stuff. Also, pronoun check time. Thank you, Clover, for redeeming pronoun check. Ads are also happening, but if you're in chat and you feel comfortable, now is the time to share your pronouns. I could shoot that bird. I can't shoot that bird. I use any. Sorry, I got distracted by the bird. My thoughts disappeared for a second. Hold on, I'm trying to bring them back. I also got jump scared because I realized I hit my reading goal for the year before the end of June. Which I didn't mean to do. I meant to read more slowly, but then my brain said, no, no, no. Read fast now, go. Yum. So now I've read, well, I think I'm on... Hold on, I finished... Oh god. If I finished Bunny today, I don't like this song. I finished Bunny again today, which means I'm on... I've read 53 and I'm on book 54. Hi, Goku! I remember reading The Fortress Unvanquishable, say for Saknoth for a class, and there was a reading question after that was like, how does the fact that the protagonist can't lose after acquiring Saknoth affect the stakes of the story? And like, it hadn't once crossed my mind that Saknoth guaranteed victory by any means, if I recall correctly. Interesting. I haven't read that one. Hold on. Hold on. I need to put that in my list of books to read eventually. Just because I like Saknoth. That's not how you say it, but that's how I'm going to say it in my head. It's a short story? Wonderful, I can read this today. The Fortress There we go. It's a 1908 fantasy short story. Wonderful, I found it on a Wikipedia website. It's now open for later. Whoop. There's another story I read for that class that included the line, "Show your dick," she said, and died again. I love writers. Sometimes they just do things. Sometimes they just live life. Also, welcome back from the ads, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Also, in case you didn't hear me earlier, Goku, hello. I forgot that ads were running as soon as I said hi. My brain, empty. Hotel Trivago. Nope, stop. I need to stop making that joke in my head. It keeps coming back to haunt me. Excuse me. There we go. I wish that my gun wasn't in the way of this. But that's fine. I miss the rats. We're right here. Brain empty. Fridge cold. Hotel Tree Van Gogh. I still miss y'all? Nope, illegal. For these crimes, you shall be given hot chocolate. I hope you feel sufficiently punished for these crimes. Fucking do it again. Well, I guess I gotta go get a large pack of hot chocolate mix. I wish I had the mental fortitude to do the Ray Bradbury challenge that I saw somebody else talking about today as well. Apparently at some point I need to find a source for this. It's a thing where he was like saying like one poem, one short story, and one essay before you go to sleep. Well, it's now called a Ray Bradbury challenge, but apparently once upon a time it was just his writing advice. Yeah, don't start with a novel. Instead, every night read one short story, one poem, and one essay. Then once a week write a short story. Which I actually do think is like pretty good advice. And that brings me to the other thing that I've been increasingly upset by today, which is the weird ways that we're treating authors and the weird ways that authors are coming to be. Which is really just a whole bunch of social media people keep becoming influencers, and I don't think they want to write books, they just see it as like the next step that they need to do, and I'm like, no. You don't have to write a book. Nobody's like holding you at gunpoint to write a book. I promise. So I made it in I remember I once had to make hot chocolate for like 10 people, so I made it in like a large pot. However, proved to be too large a pot because then I had enough hot chocolate for 40 people. Hey Void, how do you make a mistake like that? But also, that's a delicious mistake. 4 cups of hot chocolate for everybody. Or 9 cups of hot chocolate for everybody else, and 31 cups of hot chocolate for me. I finally have a dual monitor setup and double the RAM I had. Damn. You have money. RAM is so expensive. I'm so upset by it. No, I don't. Oh, that's right. You spent it all on the RAM. That's where it all went. All of your money. It's the RAM now. We need to go back to dowries, but dowries in the form of giving people just RAM sticks. Oh, it was DDR4? Oh, then you're fine, mostly. Those ones are coming down. 29 cups of hot chocolate for me. 29 cups of hot chocolate. Take one down, drink it all down. 29 cups of hot chocolate for me. I can maximize profit by being a poly lesbian. You know, that works. Thanks, Boyd. Now I can type kick W. Wonderful. But also, back to what Ether was saying about what if they wrote a stage play instead. I think there are some people that just don't need to write. Have we talked about the Kim Kardashian? Well, is it Kim and Khloe that wrote it? I don't remember. But the Kardashian sisters wrote sci-fi that sucks ass. And by wrote, I mean obviously there were ghostwriters involved. But did we talked about that once upon a time, I'm pretty sure, while also playing PowerWash Sim. Yeah, I write sci-fi that sucks ass. That's not talent. No, it's not. But they also have infinite money and could have gotten better ghostwriters. We talk about everything during PowerWash Sim? Yeah. It's the game that I load up when I simultaneously have every thought and no thoughts all at once. Hi, Devil. But like, I think about that often. I think about like the Kardashian sisters doing sci-fi. They did like a series. It wasn't even just one book. It was multiple books, and they all sucked. And I don't understand why they thought they needed to write a book. Did they do it just for money? They should stop doing that. They should do anything else. I need to figure out why I don't write more. Choice paralysis. You have too many projects you want to work on. and therefore when you sit down to work on something, your brain goes, oh god, but I have all these projects, which one do I work on, because I want to work on all of them. And then you sit there and you think about it for an extended period of time, and then your brain goes, I don't wanna. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying that I keep doing that to myself. Whee! But what if I add another project to the pile? I mean, you can. But sometimes that shit wears down on people's brains, and then they can't do the thing anymore because their brain's just going, but I have a bajillion projects to do and I can do none of them now. And that's okay too. Don't stress about it too much. PowerWash go burr? Yes. I very methodically clean the wall. There we go. A new job is available. I'm not reading that. Zig can compile to the GPU now, and I keep getting mad at DaVinci Resolve. What if I made a video editor? I mean, you can. Do you want to? Kinda? Okay, where's your the audio player first? Always organize and methodically do things in video games because I need to have control somewhere. And it's certainly not in my life. You know what I do in video games? Get lost, idiot. Sorry. Why did I say it like that? Dig hole and build tower? No, Void, you stop. You don't read me for filth here. Wait, now how am I supposed to find my way home? Eventually, maybe, perhaps. Do you like banana or mayo? Because I recommend a banana and mayo sandwich. What happens if I only like a banana? Science news: entomologists now think there are 3 times as many insects on the planet as they previously thought. Something around 20 million species. Yeah! There's a lot of bugs. Somebody needs to reset the Earth simulation. It's really buggy. Then maybe don't, but it's really good. I don't believe you, but I believe you. Okay, well, okay, Void can have that one because it's about vulture bees. Silksong mentioned by implication. Silksong could be real. If there's more bugs, surely there's a bug that's trying to somehow save its species from an infection that's glowy and orange. Vulture Bees Nuts does not get a pass. Our aunt's gay. Maybe I regret streaming today. Does this happen every single time I play PowerWash Sim? Do we just go slightly insane every single time? Is it the PowerWash Sim that does it? Do we go slightly insane every time D's nuts? Anyways. Nope, never mind. These nuts go slightly insane. Okay. We're having a normal day. Anyways, my whole conversation about books can be summarized into the following thought. I don't care, man. Just do things that make you happy, and don't rely on AI to tell you what books are about. Also, thank you for the water break and the stretch and the blink. I still don't understand. Well, no, never mind. I do understand why people are using those things to get through books, is because there's only so many hours in the day and people want to feel involved in conversations, but I think if they read the book, they'd have a better time. She's slightly on my insane till I auto mod. No, I want that one. I want that one. Now someone's volunteers to spend a year locked in a Mars simulation. Haven't they done that before, Star? I feel like this is not the first time they've done the Mars simulation, thing. They keep redoing it more and more to learn more about how people behave in that stuff. And how to not let people go insane. Making space dragons for my Project Hail Mary fixation, I'm giving them toe beans. Well, yeah, I think that a lot of dragons could benefit from toe beans. Space ones or otherwise. I finally read Project Hail Mary recently. I enjoyed it. So I made a commitment to myself recently because I realized that I was doing something that was kind of shooting myself in the foot. I have a physical TBR that is not my library books. These are books that I really want to read from authors that I really like. Like, I have the most recent, Murderbot diary book that I want to read. And all these books that I have in a pile. And so my solution has been that every month I need to read one book that is not from the library. And technically June's book, even though I finished it today, was Bunny. And I've talked about Bunny before. Bunny is, basically... I need the blurb for Bunny, because I don't think I can do it justice. But I just need to say that, like, it's written for me. I need you to understand this. This book is written for me. So Bunny is, I'm gonna put the title and author in the chat because I do also really like this book. It's a good, I don't want to call it magical realism, but it is pretty much magical realism. But Bunny, the blurb goes, Samantha Heather Mackey couldn't be more of an outsider in her small, highly selective MFA program at New England's Warren University. A scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people. She is utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohort, a clique of unbearably twee rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's sinister yet saccharine world, beginning to take part in the ritualistic off-campus workshop where they conjure their monstrous creations, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into deadly collision. Fantastic. It's literally written for me. It is an MFA literary fiction class filled with magical realism. It's amazing.
Hello, Twader and Rats.
Hello.
Happy 43 months. I am so sorry I haven't been around as much. We're getting neck deep in back to school at work. I barely have time for anything, but I miss you guys.
I hope you're doing okay, but I hope that the world is not too insane and that you're doing okay. We miss you too, and I need to play the game that you sent me the invite to the playtest for, but I keep playing Destiny. It's a problem. It's fine. Okay, so Bunny. It's about a graduate program, an MFA. The author, Mona Awad, wrote another book called We Love You, Bunny, which is a follow-up to Bunny, and it takes place after she graduates and Samantha has gone on to publish a good book. Like, it's gotten, like, critical acclaim, and then the bunnies come back out of the woodwork and find her. I'm so fascinated. I'm so utterly fascinated. And I'm so excited to read it, but I needed to go back and reread Bunny before I tried to read We Love You, Bunny, because there were a lot of little details that I forgot, and for fear of spoiling them for people that want to read the book, I'm not going to say anything. But there was some twists around some of the characters that I actually just, like, straight up forgot. And so I'm very happy that I decided to go back and reread it first. No, do puppet show. How do I puppet show the Bug video game? Is that possible? I don't want to be a puppet. You don't have to be a puppet, you just have to do a puppet show. Very different. With bug puppets? Okay. I mean, they said you're allowed to stream it, Trader. Yeah, but I want a PowerWash sim. And then I need to finish Tales of Vesperia. And then I need to cry about finishing Tales of Vesperia. And then question my life for a week. And then probably play some Minecraft. And then, maybe play Tales of Graces. But I don't know if that's too many RPGs too quickly. What if I play Halo? What if I played through the Halo campaigns? Nope, that's gonna be awful. I'm just going to blow up. I'm going to blow up. Please? Okay, well, Ibit said please, so now I have to consider it. I'm going to just find grenades and accidentally blow myself up. John Halo, yes. Although I wouldn't be getting the new... What is it? Campaign Evolved, which is just the original Halo campaign remastered. We're playing the old one. I want the polygons to be visible. I know this song. It is Risk of Rain. You know, my worlds collided the other day. Ray of all people played Mario Party with one of my other fave YouTubers. Low-key made me miss AH even more. I need you to know that I keep running into things where I start watching somebody and then suddenly either they're doing a VTuber collab with people that I'm like, I've already mildly liked this person. How did you get into my house? Or sometimes I see people that I like collabing with people that I have actually physically known in real life, and then I sit there and I think really hard about my life choices. I don't get any answers, I just think about it. Thinking about things is for nerds? Yeah. Which is why I do it. That's me with Porcelain Maid, knowing I know him IRL and he's a friend, and then I see him in collabs and go, what are you doing in my swamp? Yeah, there's a couple people I know IRL that are streamers that I'm like, how'd you get here? What are you doing here? And then I usually follow that thought up with, and I'm so proud of you. Keep doing whatever this nonsense is, because usually they're making a penis joke by that point in the train of thought. I like how clean that is. I like how not clean that is in comparison. Wonderful. What the fuck is up, Kyle? I miss Vine. I don't. I miss Vine though. I miss the idea of Vine. I miss the point in life where I was able to watch Vines. It wasn't really better, it was just better because I didn't understand what was going on to the extent that I do now. And also AI didn't exist, so maybe it was better. It could have been better. I think it might have been better. Huh. What if we make our own Vine? That's so much work. You don't need another project, Ether. You literally haven't finished your music player, and now you want to make a video editor. And then you want to make a Vine platform? No. Like TikTok, but shorter and green. Why did my brain say so like Aether? That's not correct, but also absolutely correct. Even though I don't think Aether is actually that short, but Aether is short in my head. Make aim while you're at it. Oh yeah, that would be sorry, my brain just started saying a Weibo. And then I couldn't think of words because my brain was just playing the gif of the bird. It's like Zippy is bald in my head. You know what? That's okay. I'll accept the bald head canons, maybe. It doesn't make them real, but sure. I could make my Destiny 2 character bald. No, I won't, because she's already got half a shaved head. I know that it's too late for this to be anything they change, but I wish Destiny 2 had a better character creator. There's so few colors of things and so few haircuts. I know you don't see it like 95% of the time because my helmet's on. But like... I could have looked so much cooler. I want my robot to have a mohawk. Is that too much to ask? Probably, actually. That's fine. I did it. Nope. I just wish that the internet could be cooler. I've read a number of books recently as well about like... Actually, what was the one that I just read? It was Unsubscribe Please. And it was talking about, it wasn't just about technology, but it was about the ways that like subscriptions used to be like such a rare thing, and now like everything is a subscription. And as inspired by the book, I started going through and trying to clear out all of the unnecessary subscriptions from my email. You know what I've discovered? They won't go away. I have unsubscribed from the same email list every day for the last week. It won't leave me. I don't know why. I don't know why they insist on doing this to everybody, and I'm going to fight somebody. I'm sectioning off the wall. Close enough. Whee! Some of them I don't want to block the entire domain for them. Because it's like a place that actually sends me updates that I do need, but those are separate from the the updates that they're sending as marketing material. And I just want to block them. I want to block them so badly. And burn down my entire email inbox. Hello? Oh, there's a big truck. Cat. Okay. Anger dispersed, I saw a cat. Can't be upset anymore, I saw a cat. That's how emotions work. But the book was also really interesting. Hold on, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, and where is my phone? Where is my phone? Oh, it's right here. Hold on, I want to look up the name of the book. I don't agree with 100% of everything that was in the book, but I thought it was like a really interesting read in terms of like attitude towards the modern world. Hi, Asgore. Because they talk about inside of the book, it's called Please Unsubscribe Thanks, How to Take Back Our Time, Attention, and Purpose in a World Designed to Bury Us in Bullshit, which is 100% true. But he actually goes through in like several of the chapters and talks about like the active steps that he took. He doesn't just talk about the theory behind it, but he does spend a little bit of time on that, but instead breaks down like the different levels of like unsubscribing from things. And I guess it kind of mimics the digital minimalism approach, but I I'm going to say something controversial, but not controversial at all. In digital minimalism, which I read earlier this year and so should be in my list so I can figure out who wrote it. Hold on. Nope, that's Jack Melanick. Where is it? Where is it? Cal Newport. I've talked about Cal Newport in digital minimalism before, but when I read it, Cal Newport very specifically talked about the fact that he was not an internet denizen to begin with. And so a lot of what he gleaned from his, like, sojourn into how the internet affects people was anecdotal from people talking to him about it. Like, he did, like, dedicated, like, asking for people to talk to him about it and, like, diving deeply into, like, the psychology of everything. But he himself was not an internet denizen and was therefore kind of removed from the situation. Julio, the author of Please Unsubscribe Thanks, is an internet denizen. Was working in media and was traveling to California and stuff. That's a cute cactus. Was traveling to California and stuff on a regular basis for his job. Like, doing a lot of, like, well, frankly, very cool stuff as well. But, like, he was in the world of it. He understood better than I think Cal Newport could what the internet was like to exist on it. And so I'm finding his advice slightly more, not grounded, accessible, I guess. Because all of the other stuff, I'm reading it as a secondary source. Basically, Cal Newport is doing a lot of, like, filtering down of what he knows from the psychology and, like, looking at studies about everything. But Julio is, like, calls the pandemic a circus. Talks about it from his own experience. It's a lot more, like, it's easier to dive into. I saw the sentence, everyone talks about being transhuman, but what about being sans human? I need to share this with you specifically, Tchaikovsky. This has nothing to do with the Bone Man. They are genuinely inquire what it means to be post-human. You mean dead? Are we doing postmodernism but with humans now? Have a good night, Minty. Are we somehow applying art periods to peoples? Are they thinking about crap? No. Also, have a good time zone, devil. Take care of yourself. Yeah, are they talking about evolution or are they talking about, like, schools of thought? Are they thinking about philosophical or something else? Why am I expecting Wu to know the answer to this? I think it's a shitpost. Well, yeah, but so were a lot of the philosophical debates of, like, Plato's period, so I don't know what you want. Woo, would it make it better or worse if I told you that Plato's name wasn't Plato and that that was his wrestler title? And that he sometimes would finish arguments by just flexing on people, literally? So, like, I think the shitposting can be both real and not. Hi, Bald, how are you? As in humans in tens of thousands of years when they're no longer similar enough to still be the same species? Can I be a rock? I should play Rock Simulator again. I shouldn't. Actually, did you know that I wanted to play a different game today and then I don't know why I went to check the page again. The store page? Because I bought this game like forever ago. And I went to check the store page because I realized that I bought it before the AI disclosure stuff existed. It has AI in it, and I got very sad. They used Gen AI for images, and I was like, hey man, why? Why you do this to me? I wanted fun click game. What do you mean you're full of AI? You did not have this disclosure before. Most hieroglyphs are shitpost, or laws about shitposting. That's true too. Also, remember to talk to your local lawmakers about things like COSA and stuff like that, because the stupid things are happening with it, and I'm upset about it again. It's been a conversation again recently, because they've been saying like, oh, well, we're not demanding anybody give their ID to every website that they go to. We're just saying that they need to know these things. And I'm like, yeah, so you're telling me that they need to have my ID so they can verify the thing that you are asking them to verify. Bastard. Anyways, if you're asking for specifics, I think you're barking up the wrong in a different tree. If being sans human is just being dead, then maybe I'm not sure what sans is as a prefix. Essentially, sans just means without. I'm not joking. It is the French thing to mean, like, without. So without human, does that mean being an orphan? How? Okay, hold on. If you remove the human from a human, why does that make them an orphan? I thought he was the funny guy from Undertale. I mean, he could be that too. Without human, then it's in the world as it was before humans. Is sans human a term? We're analyzing a shitpost, I think. Wu presented us with a shitpost, and now we're over analyzing it because I don't know what we're doing. Well, I know what I'm doing. Kind of. That was so many ding noises. I'm full of serotonin. I think we do puppet show to fix like being sensitive, but no, do puppet show. No, analyzing a shitpost isn't like analyzing shit. It's just like analyzing anything. Well, I guess then it's like analyzing shit too. Oh no, I've talked myself into a corner. Well... Time to throw me into the yard. No, I want to go into the ocean. Can it be my turn to go into the ocean? I always threaten the rats with throwing them into the ocean. It's my turn. I want to be thrown into the ocean. No, I'm still here. Damn it. Can I throw myself into the ocean? I think that's just called doing a cannonball. Can I throw myself into the ocean? I hate that. I hate that. Stop it. Stop moving. You're stressing me out. Stop it. Stop it. This is the real challenge mode of PowerWash Sim, is trying to wash a rocking chair with a power wash for some reason. Imagine a map filled with bullshit like this. Imagine if PowerWash Sim gave us the ability to make maps to share with people. Oh my god, imagine if PowerWash Sim gave us maps to share with people. I'd make a horrific map of just rocking chairs. Imagine you had games, unlimited games? No, but I do. Didn't you guys see what Sony did? We'll have unlimited games and no games. Aren't you all so excited? What do you think our next major evolutionary trait will be? Losing our pinky toe. That shit is unnecessary. It does nothing. I think I'm going to start killing, actually. No. No killing. Well, maybe. Anyways, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you're confused, Sony announced that they're no longer making physical discs and that all of their systems going forward will be digital only, and they announced this the day after ending a whole bunch of people's access to movies that they thought they owned that were digital only. I'm so excited! It's amazing! I'm going to cry! Can I have your pinky toe time? Okay. Is important for balance? Yes. It's not, though. They've been getting weirder and smaller as the years have gone on. What? Hey? Ah. Is it still dirty up there? What am I missing? Come on, I can parkour. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's all clean up here. Is it something around this? Is it around the— yeah, it was around that edge. Okay. I'm gonna ask if the handle is separate. My question has been answered. Oh god. What? It causes enough of a problem that if someone loses their pinky toe, it messes up the way they walk. I mean, we would probably, like, evolve for it to be something else, or it would blend in with our other toe. But there's been a lot of them getting smaller and weirder and falling off or, like, dying. It keeps happening. Webbed toesies, ooh woo. Woo, how do I get you? How do I remove you? How do I deal with you? Remove me yourself, coward. No, I'm tired. Hatred for Sony only grows stronger. They couldn't even leave earbuds alone. Their fancy shit just took the open standard and added a proprietary notch so they could so only they could sell you replacement cables. Yeah, like what Apple did with the USB connector on that one keyboard. Dude, listen, in the span of like 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna say a month. We'll just give it a month. In the span of 1 month, Sony killed Bungie, essentially. Destroyed Destiny 2. Said they wanted to still do live service games. Erased the only reason why consoles were good, which is having access to physical media and having like very specific platforms. Erasing people's access to media that they have purchased and thought was theirs forever. And continues to go out there and be like, we're doing so well. How do I don't like them. I have a PS5 controller. I'm never buying a PS5 controller again. I don't care if they're nice controllers. I will literally go get the new Steam one. I don't care. I'm so upset and annoyed. Somehow Xbox is the dead one. Well, that's because Xbox has leaned all in on more so about like kind of a cross-platform experience. Because when you think about what Xbox is still doing, Xbox is leaning really hard into the PC and console. They're not really focusing so hard on being console only. They're trying to marry the experiences that are on both of the systems. Which I think is probably the long-term winning situation for Xbox. Because then even if Xbox kills their consoles in the traditional sense, they still have something that is of value to people. Sony, I don't think has value to me. All of their exclusives I would rather play on the PC. I still don't understand how. I also have so many questions about this. GTA 6. Digital only pre-orders. First of all, why? Why do I need to pre-order it? Why is the pre-order for digital only? Why are there no physical discs? Well, we know the answer now. But, like, why are there no physical discs? Why is there no collector's box? Why is there none of this? Also, in, like, the weirdest twist, the funniest thing about me to the GTA 6 stuff. There were a whole bunch of investors and people that really thought that Rockstar was going to put out GTA 6 and make it $100, and that this was going to be the way to force up the price of every other game again. And then they didn't do that, and then the stock tanked for a day. The stock tanked because they didn't like that the video game people said, no, we're not going to hike it up any further than 80. They wanted so badly to normalize $100 USD games with GTA 6, and then they got pissy when they didn't. Anyways, buy indie games. I think that's what we've all learned here today. There's very few games that I will buy AAA titles anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, most of them are Nintendo. Most of them are Nintendo. And I mean like full price and not waiting for it to go sale on Steam. Like, if I hadn't bought a whole bunch of games and was not having to get stuff for a wedding that I'm going to, not that I'm having, I'm not getting married. So one of my family members is getting married. Oh, I have to cancel streams. Not right now. Sorry. I'll get there eventually. I have to probably cancel a couple of streams at the beginning of August. I have no idea what's going on. I have literally no idea what's going on with my extended family. I'll figure it out and I'll report back to you guys. If I did not have like other important things I need to spend money on, I was thinking about buying the Kirby game that was for the Switch that I never played. Or Kirby Air Riders. But I have other things I need to spend money on, and so like those games are there and I will buy them eventually. I'm just not going to do it right now. And those are it. It's like Kirby games. Actually, I think all the AAA title games I want are Kirby and Pokemon. And that's it. Also, Hasbro can't get somebody to make Baldur's Gate 4. Have you guys seen that too? That's my other favorite gaming news information from this week. Hasbro is failing at finding someone who is willing to develop Baldur's Gate 4. Since Larian isn't going to work on it, everybody keeps going, no. Also, ads are going to start in a minute. Not gonna lie, if Bloodborne ever gets another game, let me have my one delusion, I might buy it. If Bloodborne got a PC port, not only would that print money for the company, I think people would buy that at $70. I think the Bloodborne fans are not okay. No way anyone can one-up that shit. Well, I also don't think people want to deal with Hasbro. Says the D2 fan. Listen! I'm not okay. I'm gonna start playing Warframe more out of spite as soon as I figure out how to get another Warframe because I don't understand what I'm doing, and every time I do things I get lost and confused. Do you Hasbro? I Hasbro. I love Game Grumps. I should put back on their Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door series. I fucking love that series. Why is there purple? What the fuck is that? Why is it shiny? Man, why do all the fun things have to come with either companies being bad or people being weird or some combination of both? Why can't we just have one normal thing? Ads are happening. Why do all my platforms have ads? How do I escape the capitalism? I know the answer is boat country, but I'm hoping that there's maybe a different answer because I don't want to live on the ocean all the time. Silk Song? Okay, so I get a giant needle. And then I learn how to make it into a guitar. That's the lesson I'm supposed to get from Silk Song, right? Blimp country. Airplane country. I think we're getting really close to Snowpiercer and train country. Snowpiercer? I hardly know her. Zier, I thought about you in one of the short stories from seasons of Glass and Iron. They made a I hardly know her joke at some point, and I just started laughing at it. I was walking and reading at work, and I just stared at it and really just went, oh god, it's here. Unicycle country? Okay, that'd be kind of sick, though. Blimp country might just be a Bioshock Infinite, and we all know that that one was good and had no problems and no racism. And sexism. A lot of biases, actually. Now that I think about it. But with queers in porn. Okay, so you're saying that you want to build your own Bioshock Infinite with blackjack and hookers. Is essentially the sentence that you have just said. But not exactly. Close enough. I think we should do it, except not, because I don't think we're equipped for that. Do I have soap? Did that do anything? I cleaned it. I cleaned it. It can't be that hard to make a blimp. This has the same energy as what does a banana cost, Michael? $10? Just occurred to me that there are other people alive who don't know that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad, or even that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. I mean, yeah. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't know that, like, technically really famous spoiler. They're out there. They're living life. Doing something. Okay, I think I've gotten the building. I'm doing the floor last. Why? I don't know. There are also people? What do you mean there's people? That's illegal. No one said they could do that. There are? Oh no. I can't believe this twist in fate. Their castle. Their wolf. Sorry, I have Young Frankenstein on the brain as well, and I keep thinking about the werewolf joke from the very beginning of the movie. Gene Wilder in the thing with Igor hears a wolf. There's also a pretty woman in it as well. I don't remember her name. I actually don't remember if they say her name at that point in the movie. But they hear the wolf, and one of them says something about werewolf. And Igor goes, their castle, their wolf. And it's really stupid. It's really stupid. I love it so much. Young Frankenstein is a good movie. If you've never had the opportunity to watch that one, you definitely should. It pokes fun at a lot of, like, the Frankenstein, like, existence, but it's very good. And it's also Gene Wilder. Hi, Icy. Enjoy Gene Wilder. He's done a lot of cool stuff. He's been a lot of good roles. I think there's many movies where he is just genuinely my favorite actor. And as far as I know, and feel free to correct me if I am wrong, as far as I know, Gene Wilder has just been a pretty okay dude as well. Nobody's perfect, but as far as actors go, I've heard a lot of good things about Gene Wilder. Granted, I am not an actor, and I know nothing. We have not had the, like, random stories of people coming out of the woodwork and going, no, he was awful, later in his life. Which has happened multiple times. Although I did see people on the internet this week very happy about, Mel Brooks' birthday was this weekend, right? And he posted on Blue Sky, and he was like, I don't feel a day over 98. Because he turned like 100? Did he turn 100? Am I insane? How old is Mel Brooks? Mel Brooks. Yeah, he's 100. And he posted on Blue Sky and said, I don't feel a day over 98. It was cute. Even if it was somebody else posting for him, still cute. Did you hear they're using AI to use his voice? Because of course they are. That's so fucked up. The only thing about Gene was that he had Alzheimer's and had a long, shitty last few years. That's how Alzheimer's goes. I'm gonna be so real. If I hear that somebody has Alzheimer's or dementia later on in life and somebody, like, says that they were awful to them in that part of their life, I'm gonna have to take a step back and go like, yes, they were awful, but that's kind of what happens when somebody has those kinds of conditions at that age. That's just the way it is. They get mean. It's a thing that a lot of caretakers struggle with. I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I had a professor that was dealing with a parent that had, I think it was dementia? And so I wound up reading a lot of just fiction that involved that. And it was a thing that came up time and time again, is just how mean they can be. When your brain is destroying itself, there are times where you aren't necessarily you. Yeah, and that was the thing that it kept coming back to with all these writers that I was reading as well. It was like a trying to accept that in some ways your parent, if they were taking care of a parent, is already gone. Which is really, really heartbreaking to think about in cases of, like, older age. You kind of, like, pre-mourn and then, like, have to go through the process of still taking care of them. And then you reach when they do eventually pass away, and then you feel kind of weird because you've already spent all your time mourning. And so there's not really much more for you to mourn necessarily in the same sense that somebody might do if it was like out of the blue. My friend's dad is too unhinged for hospice. Yeah, no, I've heard that. I've heard of people having issues with like family that needs round-the-clock care and they can't take them to hospice and they have to find alternative programs because the family can't do it either. It's insane. I do not envy people that go through that, and I only want to give them as many pieces of support and hugs as they will accept, because that shit sucks. I don't understand the cactuses. I'm gonna be so honest. These cactuses look like ominous men. There we go. Wonderful. Hold on, I have to sneeze. I just sneezed several times. I'm fine now. Mental health conditions like that are so sad, both because whoever it is, very obviously not themselves, and also you know that they're also likely going through an abysmal time. There have been some interesting, like, movies and pieces of media that have tried to replicate what it feels like to go through something like, well, to the best of our abilities, what it feels like to go through something like dementia or Alzheimer's, and it is every single one of those that I have seen or consumed, it's so weird and jarring and hard because a lot of them are trying to like there have been a couple that have been like trying to replicate it from you are the person going through dementia, and it's just surreal. I do not envy it for anybody. That is one of those things that if we found a solution to Alzheimer's and dementia, I hope that they make that shit as inexpensive as possible. I would rather so many people, even my worst enemies, be able to not have to deal with everything that comes with that. Actually, there's just a lot of medical conditions that I think about that. I'm like, if we could just, like, find a solution, that'd be fantastic. Although Australia had some good news recently. They went through, I was listening to Philip DeFranco talk about it. Australia had a really good piece of news in the last couple of weeks, which is that they're on the track to eliminate cervical cancer. Like, I think it was, they were expecting like 25 cases either per year or in the last 5 years, and they had like nothing. Like, no one died from it, everything, like, fantastic. Like, people are still getting it, but they're able to like tackle it and get on it before it's a problem. And that's so good. If I go into research, that's what I want to go into, learning how to develop video games that can help with Alzheimer's and dementia. There's a few labs who focus on it. Last I heard, they were finding results, not a cure, though. It might be one of those things where, like, Alzheimer's and dementia is, like, you find good ways to help people cope through it, but it's not something we can necessarily cure ourselves. I know that there have also been work with, dementia villages, where they essentially make communities for people that are they're meant to be basically like normal life, but with the benefit of there actually being people on site all the time to make sure that everybody is okay. And that tends to help with a lot of the symptoms. It's not a solution necessarily, but it helps a lot. Now is the best time to get cancer? Actually, no, right now might be a not okay time to get cancer, but that is very specifically because we're also dealing with some shortages of medicines right now for chemotherapy. This is a very specific, very niche problem that we are running into. Some of the generics for chemotherapy are running low, and some companies are not wanting to produce it because curing cancer isn't profitable. I say rolling my eyes and shaking my head, because that is definitely what we should be looking for in our cures for cancer, is profitability. I know that's what I look for in everything that I do. I look for the profits. I definitely don't look for the human joy that I experience when I do something like PowerWash in a video game. The traitor, the shareholders. Even though there's probably going to be another fluid shortage, probably. It's still a better time than ever. We know... No, you can have that one. That one's good. Sharehold these nuts. There's still a lot of better solutions now than there ever have been. I know I'm being pessimistic, but I need to insert the hopefulness into this. There are still a lot of good solutions that are being developed. We know more than ever about some of these things, and we're keep learning more and more and more. So there's always somebody out there that's trying to find better solutions for things. It's never the perfect time to get any sort of major illness, but God, this isn't a bad one. I need to put everything as tuberculosis on my library wait list. Hold on. Let me just log into my library really quick. It doesn't have to be polyamory. That can just be a threesome. Put on hold list. Oh God, I'm never gonna see this book. Everything is tuberculosis. There's 70 copies, and there's 167 people on hold for it. I am 167th. That's fine. Maybe I'll get through the rest of my to-read list before I get there. My hold list is getting longer and longer again. This is dangerous. I need to stop this. Although I get to take in several books tomorrow, so that'll be good. I think my first experience with both tuberculosis and polyamory was a novel I read in grade 6. This is amazing. A polyamory? That's just sword lesbians. Sorry, I keep seeing all of the lesbians on my timeline keep talking about learning how to fence. All of them are getting into violence and weapons, and I love it. I hope they have fun. I don't know what happened in all their collective brains recently, but something did. So it's not just my lesbians? No, it's all of them. The number of times I have opened up Blue Sky and just seen lesbians on the internet talking about wanting to get into fencing and sword fighting and all this stuff, I'm like, is there something in the air? What happened, y'all? And I have not heard any answers yet. I just know that it keeps going. It's better than fight clubs or pickleball. Hey! You can't talk shit about pickleball. I live in the state where it was invented. Actually, I have no feelings. You can talk shit about pickleball all you want. There's a lot of pickleball stuff up here, though. It keeps expanding, and I'm like, I don't understand, y'all, but have fun. You go smack that ball, I guess. My wife said she has no intention of playing with swords. What about you, Star? Do you want to play with swords? Cool new queer fencing? Oh god. I have multiple IRLs who have started fencing. They're all queer and most of them don't know each other. They independently went, I think I want to stab, but no stab. Not really, but I play with knives. They are like swords. I mean, there's a whole class of German swords that were created to basically be knives so they could get around the laws about not having swords. Why do I know this? The giant folding ones? No, it's the handle. You know the handle on knives that has the like the wooden thing, then the blades in there, and then it's got like the 3 dots on the side that are how the wood fits onto the metal piece? It's that. It's the handle construction. It's weird. This is like an old thing. That's why there's some old swords that are designed that way. Eh. Whoa. Hold on, I need to go back and read this. I dislike pickleball because they paved over half the tennis courts and messed up the lines at one of the parks. Now I have to go to a different one because that one is full for tennis usually. Damn. And it includes the name of my least favorite food. Fitting. I'm so sorry. Fuck pickleball. Unless one of the rats plays pickleball, in which case it's okay, I guess. Do you hate our child pickles? I think it was Spain and France where they carried giant folding knives because if it folded, it wasn't a sword. Don't you love that as long as humanity has existed, our main point of existence has been figuring out how to get around every law ever and find every single loophole. Where there are humans, there are loopholes. Giant folding knives emerged primarily in the 17th century as a response to legal restrictions. When Spanish monarchs banned commoners from carrying long swords, blacksmiths created the navaja, a folding knife that acted as a concealable poor man's sword. I love things. I mean, it's the same thing about, like, women not being able to have weapons, and so they essentially developed, the hair picks as a way to get around some of those restrictions because women still wanted to be able to, like, have a weapon for self-defense. And that way, if you had it in your hair or in your hat, you could just be like, oh no, it's just for my hat. It is an accessory. Humans are so silly. I love them. I also hate them in the same breath. So wonderful and awful and complicated and complex. How I love and hate you all at once. Own a hairpin for self-defense just as the founding mothers intended? Yeah. Nice. I wish I could blow the dice away. I hate that dice have gravity. Let them escape. Have a scythe hair stick? I have a hair stick too. It's not pointy enough to be a weapon. I think mine is also a scythe. Oh my god, mine is also a scythe. For you know wheat? I just like scythes. My love of scythes and birds come from the same place. My first Pathfinder character. Well, actually, no, never mind. I think the scythes I can also track back to Ruby. Also, I cut off 9 inches of hair the other week, so I can't wear it right now. It's not enough hair to wrap it around. Oh no! One day. However, the children are making me conform to capitalism again. Can we ground them? What does that mean? No, the children yearn for the mines. Can you give the children a puppet show? What if I send them on constant garden walks? That's not a puppet show. Puppet shows are nothing like grounding. I don't think garden walks are grounding either. Parking. They can collect their own food. They're grounding for the mind because they're on the ground. Okay. Never mind. The loophole has been found. Benches. We're just gonna do the top of these really quickly. I say really quickly like I'm trying to speed run this. I'm going at whatever pace my brain deems appropriate. Which is something. I'm trying to think of more hopeful things to talk about because I keep talking about things that keep making me upset because they're making me upset and therefore they're on my mind. I need to find the more hopeful stuff to think about. There's so many books, though. Actually, that's something to be happy about. There's so many books, and libraries exist. Library. I need to go to the library tomorrow. My local library is closed on the 4th for the 4th of July, obviously. But I have tomorrow off because it's the observed day for the 4th. Which means I still get a day to go to the library. And I'm happy. I just want infinite book. Hi, T. Library of Alexandria. Oh no, sad thoughts again. No, but think about all the fun stuff that humanity has learned since then. And how we're doing more and more to keep compiling it into other places where we can keep it forever. No more sad thought. We're working so hard to be better about preserving things, and there are people that are actively working on long-term storage solutions for data and information. Also, thank you for the water break, the stretch, and the blink. I didn't turn off my power washer. I'm wasting my wireless water. Think of the stars because stars are cool and they exist and will always continue to exist. Well, until they blow up, but that's gonna take a while, so you don't gotta worry about that in your lifetime. Oh, wait, no, that was sweet. Clover. Also, star. We've got 2 of them here. Two stars here. Space is so cool and so big and so full of interesting things. And Steven Spielberg, I think, fully thinks so much about aliens all of the time. Did you guys hear about how Spielberg has been about his newest movie? It's okay if you haven't. I don't know what corner of the internet I'm on, but I keep getting stuff about, like, directors. And apparently, Steven Spielberg studied about UFOs when he was in college and has a lot of thoughts and feelings about aliens. Like, a lot of thoughts and feelings about aliens. In his most recent video, they're like, it's real. And I think Steven Spielberg does wholeheartedly believe that it's real. And you know what? Good for him. Oh my god, I could go to the Lego store. No, I shan't. I should not go to the Lego store. I wonder if there's some alien out there playing Alien PowerWash Sim. Surely there has to be, right? Surely. Sorry, I was just thinking about how I'm thinking about going to the mall tomorrow, and I know that there's a Lego store either right next to the mall or inside of the mall, and I cannot remember which. And I think I might be mixing up several malls all together into one creature. I have no idea, actually. But I know it's near there. And if not, I know there's a Best Buy near both of the malls. Actually, all of the malls. Does every mall exist near a Best Buy? Hold on. I'm thinking really hard about this because I'm trying to remember every mall I've ever been to. And I think every mall I've ever been to in my life is like within a mile of a Best Buy. Why? Interesting. I don't understand, but I understand. Mixing up the malls into one creature, much like a brick-based toy set I could mention. No, I'd never mix all of them up into one thing all at once. That would never happen. Okay. I do need to finish my Galaxy Lego set. I have not finished that one yet. Not for lack of trying, but for lack of time. Because the Lego hobby goes very small on my list of other hobbies. I have so many hobbies and so little time. What if I learned how to manipulate time and space in order to play Lego? I am an adult. I am an adult. I pay taxes. I pay taxes. And all I can think about is how I wish I had time to play Legos. Sorry, Time, I called you short. Well, I didn't call you short, but close enough. Unbelievable. Me too. You also want to play Legos? I think everybody deserves Lego time. I think everybody should get Lego time. Can't power wash the plants. What's the point of paying taxes if it means you can't spend the money you earn on Legos? That's what I think. I'm also having a flash forward into when I go to my family member's wedding, and then you make small talk with all the extended family, and I am older than the person that is getting married, and I am suddenly realizing that I'm going to have to field all of those questions, but I'm here playing PowerWash Sim and complaining about how I don't have enough time to play Legos. So maybe it's fine. Maybe everything is fine. I'm fine. Well, I'm not fine. I tend to have, like, the same, like, 3 conversations with my extended family. Because they don't seem to understand that I have a different set of priorities than what they did when I was their age. Or when they were my age. And so they'll be like, well, why don't you come down here and hang out with the family and spend the night? And I'm like, I have a cat who I love and who would get very sad and want to destroy the house if I did not come home. And they go, she'll be fine. I go like, yeah, probably, but also I love her and will miss her and want to see her and annoy her. And then that doesn't compute, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain this to y'all. I love my dumb cat. She's so stupid and full of... Is she full of thoughts? Or is she? No, she is full of sleep. She's sleeping underneath the bookshelf. She's not hiding. I verified that she's, like, not hiding, but no, she just likes it right there. I talk about my best friend and use the pronoun he, and suddenly my boyfriend is the only relevant topic of conversation. Let me chill and be happy with my cat and friend. Ooh, I do get to play the fun game of, can I confuse them by trying to explain my job? And the answer every single time for every single job I've had is yes. Because it never gets any easier to explain to them anything that I do. And, like, I'm not going to disclose necessarily everything that I do. I still work with social media accounts and stuff in a very different context than what I used to at Twitch. But I have never had anybody in my extended family that understands on the first pass what the hell I do. I still have to go like, okay, so it's like this thing and this thing, but over here and like this. And then they go, yeah, I don't get it. And I go, I don't have any other words for you. I don't know how else to explain this to you. This is as close as I can get. And they go, okay. Although the core description of what I do hasn't changed, which is I talk to a lot of people and I say a lot of words and eventually something happens. It's not always what I want to happen. I don't want this song. It's not always what I want to happen, but something happens. Or I send a message to somebody and then they ask me the question that I answered at the beginning of my message. Don't ask me how that one happens, because I don't understand and I'm scared still. Cactus battery. A classic. It happens so much. I don't know how to get it to stop. I send a message with all the information and then they go, yeah, but what about this thing? And I'm like, the message. Please. I'll never be free. Nobody reads what everybody wants to read. It's okay, I get sent on side quests all the time too, where somebody's like, hey, do you know where this thing is? And I go, nope. I guess that's my day now. Perfect. I have spent months emailing back and forth with a woman in Belgium and translating her French to English, only to find out she speaks fluent Spanish. Loss? Yeah, loss. Get lost. Sorry. Don't get lost. Although I sympathize so much, Star. There's a couple of international teams that I talk to on a regular basis, and I don't know enough of any of their languages to be able to communicate to them in their language, even like somewhat functionally. And so I've now mastered the art of somehow for the teams that I cannot find somebody else to also help me with this, because there's some teams that are they really would prefer to speak in other languages. I have learned the art of simplifying everything as best as I can to the smallest possible terms so that nothing gets lost. I don't know how else to solve the problem, and I don't think I can solve the problem always. Technically, it's on the larger company to make sure that there's easy communication methods, but there's only so much they can do in these instances. Usually with enough screenshots about what I'm trying to talk about, if it's like highly specific conversation pieces, I can get the point across, and they'll be like, I know what the steps are. So really what I've learned is with enough red circles and red arrows on a screenshot, you can convey anything to anyone. Which means that the YouTube clickbait was right all along. Science can be conveyed fairly easily. Yeah, that one's easier there because there's like, well, not necessarily science, but like mathematics in general don't get lost in translation too hard because mathematics is like standardized kind of across languages. You can show somebody a math problem in any language and most of the time they will understand. A lot of science has similar notations and things. Unfortunately, the stuff that I'm doing is not science and is much softer subject matter-wise, which means that it is a lot of things can go wrong in communication. Engineering, yeah. Engineering can go pretty easily. Well, it can, depending on the context. There's some engineering types that are, or some engineering problems that are not necessarily just the mathematics. They can get a little bit weirder, but... See, what I'm learning about ASL, if all else fails, you can spell it or act it out, and you'll probably get close enough to be understood. Yeah! It's like circular, what is it? It's not circular speaking. My French teacher had a name for this when I was in high school. It was how you talk around a word that you don't necessarily understand. Which I only remember very vividly, and I don't know why this one AP- well, no, I understand why this one AP test is so stuck in my brain. It's because it was so, like, not necessarily traumatic, but it was a little bit traumatic in that I was alone in a room and then I had two teachers staring at me while I tried to speak out loud in French. That was not fun. Would not recommend. 0 out of 10. But I couldn't remember the word for pizza or how to, like, talk about pizzas in French. Maybe I hadn't even learned those vocab words at that time. No, I definitely knew some of the ingredient names. So I just, like, talked around the experience of, like, making the thing to convey what I was trying to say about it, because I couldn't remember, like, the term that I was trying to get to. And I was like, well, if I can't remember the word itself, let's just talk about the thing. And hopefully by talking about that very specific side of it, I can get to something that is close enough. And somewhere, someone on that AP test said, yeah, close enough. AP tests and traumatic, yeah. No, they are. Some of them are worse than others. Although my favorite thing about AP tests is all of my memories of AP tests take place in a Mormon church. Very specifically their gymnasium. I don't know why, but that was just the place we went to take all of our AP tests. That was just it. They were like, nope, this is where you do this. And I was like, okay, I guess. So when we were on our breaks, we'd walk around the hallways of the church, like just around the gymnasium area, and just like stare at all the posters. I only ever took an English one. My AP Art didn't have a test. Did you do the portfolio for the AP Art exam? Because I did that one when I did the AP Art class. You send in your portfolio and then they grade it and you don't have to do anything, and then you get it sent back to you and then you go, did I pass? And then they give you a number and you go, I don't know what this means. There was some other stuff included, but at that point in time when I got it back, I was like, I don't know what this means. This is so divorced from everything else that I've ever done. What does this mean? I had a language teacher ask me a test question that I fully understood and could have hypothetically answered, except I didn't have an answer for it, even in English. Very awkward silence. That happened to me once as well. I had a professor that wanted us to do once a week, come in during like her office hours and like talk to her in French for like a solid like 5 minutes. And so you would go in and see how many people were there, and then you would wait for her to be like, okay, the next student can come over here, and then you go over there and you talk to her, and then she would ask you a question, and then it didn't matter if you didn't have a real answer. You had to talk to her. You had to answer the question, and she was like, even if you don't, when she was explaining the like assignment to us, she was like, I don't care if you're lying. I don't care if you lie. Just answer my riddles 3, basically, was what she was saying. She's like, I don't care if the answer's wrong. I don't care if you don't agree with the answer you're saying. You just need to learn how to talk. Answer how you see fit. So I once spent an entire conversation talking to her about her favorite fruit. And then she asked me what mine was. I panicked and I just said apple. Maybe everything that I am has been foretold by things that I did when I was in high school and college. I somehow change a lot and I don't change at all. It's fine. Everything's fine. Apple. Man, I want apples. This foreshadowing is too heavy-handed. I wonder how Tapple's doing. Actually, I don't know how deep I want to get into this at the very end of stream, but Tom Simons, our favorite child, who is not really a child anymore, but is still a child in my heart, Tommy Innit, posted a music video that was for techno, basically, on his YouTube account. And Tapple stepped away and like took a break from doing a lot of stuff publicly, but Tapple also posted on the thing and was like just talking about how I missed him. And it was very sweet. I feel like something also happened with Tapple, and I don't remember what else happened. Did something else happen to Tapple? Am I misremembering? Was there a controversy? I don't know what happened. You know, that's entirely possible. I don't know what's happening at any point in time. Saw the notif, but never realized what it was for. Yeah, he made a song in a video, and it was sweet. Stopped doing YouTube, really? Yeah, but I have the sneaking suspicion that maybe there was also something else that happened, but I don't remember what happened. And I don't want to look it up right now. I know sometimes people just quit, but I don't remember if that's what happened. And it's Minecraft YouTubers, and so I just, you know? I don't have words. And I don't want to speak ill of anybody, and obviously believe victims always. Believe victims always, and also give the benefit of the doubt. It's one of those nuanced things. I don't know what's happening, but Tapple left a really nice message about techno and everything else, and it was very sweet. And I agreed with Tapple. It still doesn't feel like he's gone. Although now there's LARPers. Has anybody else figured out what the hell is going on with the LARPers on YouTube? I'm very confused by them. I'm not kidding. There's LARPaplier, there's Techno LARP, I think there's a Skeppy LARPer. I'm very confused all of the time. And I can't tell if I love them or hate them or both somehow in like the same sentence. They make me feel lots of complicated emotions that I don't know how to quantify into anything.
Rats less than 3 wasn't here much, but hope stream was good.
Hi Aether, did you know that you are small in green? No, I didn't know that. Well, I'm so glad we've informed you that you are small and green. Have a good rest of your night, I guess. You know, D&D players who made it off the table. No, I mean like LARPers as in they're LARPing as their favorite YouTube creators for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Are you telling me this is now a thing that has broken containment of children having good times with friends in real life? Yes. If you go to youtube.com and you type in... Nope, Hank Green, please don't start talking. And I type in the account TechnoLARP. There's an account with 145,000 subscribers that is named TechnoLARP. And apparently there's a LARP SMP. I don't understand what's happening. Oh, did I hit the button to run an ad? Ads are happening. Or did I miss the ads starting? Am I blind? We'll wait until the ads are over because I'm afraid of breaking Twitch by ending during ads. LARP SMP is just so many letters. It is. I still don't think I like the LARP YouTube accounts, even if, and I need you all to understand that I 1000% think this was how Techno would have lived life had he been here for this. I 100% believe that Technoblade, if he was not Technoblade, would have done the LARPing. If he was here in this era, he would have done it. He would have done it. No doubt in my mind. Like, no doubt in my mind, Technoblade would have done the LARPing. But I don't like it. I've decided, I think. Maybe. Jury's still out. I'm still having a lot of emotions. 2 of them are P for player. Yes. Although, I would argue that the word LARP has breached its status as an acronym and has taken on a word of its own, which is weird. I don't know what to do with that one. Now I'm just thinking about Chud again. Internet linguistics moves so fast. No, it's still live action role playing in my heart and soul and mind. No, I 100% accept that. It's like the way that like Woo calling me a chud. Also I'm gonna manual save. Escape. Nope, not that escape. How do I leave? How do I leave? How do I leave? How do I run away? How do I leave? I think I just closed the game. How do I leave? How do I leave? How do I leave? Why is this so obtuse? How do I not know how to leave? I don't want to hit that because, yeah, that's gonna reset it. Have you tried leaving? Quit. I did it. Anyways. The word chud. The word chud that Wu said, "Hey chud," to me, which is still a negative connotation. I think of it as the political reference of calling someone kind of like an idiot and also something about political spectrum. I don't remember exactly. It's either calling someone conservative or something. In Urban Dictionary this right now. Hold on. Oh, it's also from the 1984 movie. It kept changing. It kept changing. Oh my god, it's changed so many times. It came from a 1984 movie where it stood for cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller. And then it got used in like the mid-2000s to mean like ugly people. And then it got turned into something else. Oh, term used to describe people who profess beliefs that fall out of the average white right-wing praxis, such as fascist. So like, chud used to mean fascist, basically, on the internet in like 2020. And now, chud means you kinda dumb. It's kind of another word for dumbass at this point. In a way. It means slightly more and it's slightly more nuanced than that. But like, it falls into like that same context in my brain. I've determined that sans human just means crap. To me, it just means without humanity. And you know, with that, that's the industry. We're all going to become crabs one day. That's all I have for you. I have nothing else. I have nothing else. But I hope that you guys have a fantastic time zone. I hope that you guys take care of yourselves. I will see you guys on Sunday for Minecraft, probably. And we'll get back to Tales next week.
Trato 10 love.
Comfort chatter. I appreciate you very much. Drink water, eat food. What else do you need to do? Drink water, eat food, take your meds, go outside, touch some grass, take a shower, get some sleep, do everything you gotta do to take care of yourself. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!